Hi, welcome to the part 98 real questions from the past. So, if you are not yet subscribed, do so. And there is a join button in the link. There are some paid content there. Access it. So, as we speak, there is a big riot in France and they are trying to curb it. There are 1,300 arrests over a shooting of a 17-year-old driver. So, let us look at this question now. See, here we have to choose two answers. So, one for discover and transformation. See, always remember, if you have to discover, if you have to transform, you have to use an ETL. That ETL is AWS Glue. Why? Because it discovers, prepares, integrates, performs transformation. If you are from a ETL background, you would understand this. If you are not, remember ETL means extract, transform, load. So AWS Glue would be our first answer. And the second thing you have to do is visualize. Visualize is always AWS quick site. You can visualize and create such cool dashboards, and hence these two would be our final answers. Option B is a data storage solution, C is a database solution, E is a database solution for quantum. Oh, it's not it's a quantum solution, not a database solution, and hence it's wrong. So it is very clear how to answer these. Now let us look at this next question. If for some reason no, your environment it is allowing unrestricted access to specific port, you want to use a service to understand and identify which are those. So in order to do that, so you have to use guard duty. Guard duty is just your security guard. It will identify certain things. For example, if you see someone like Biden, you have to offer him an ice cream and so on. So that is what guard duty does. It is meant for intelligent threat detection. So trusted advisor, it is just like your chartered accountant who will tell you how to save taxes and so on. It will give you advice about security, cost saving, etc. Just like your father and mother. But do you listen to your father and mother? No. Similarly, in AWS world, trusted advisor will give us a lot of advice. Some we will listen, some we don't listen because we are bad people, bad kids. And CloudWatch is a monitoring solution, a security monitoring solution. Just like in your hostel days, you used to monitor a girl, where is she going, where is she coming. You have no relation, you have not spoken to her, you have not proposed her anything, but you think that monitoring is your first priority. And then we look at, if you have any changes to your AWS environment, health dashboard will tell you, but it will not help you with unrestricted access to ports. So this is wrong. C is our answer. Now let us look at this next question. Suppose you have to create a web application, you have created something like this, and you want to filter and control the inbound traffic coming to this web application. How to do that? Why do you want to control? For example, you know that certain countries are blacklisted. A lot of time we don't allow people from Pakistan to access some of these applications, okay, or some places from where the hacking happens, we do not allow them to access these applications. Suppose you have such requirement where you have to control the inbound traffic, web traffic. What will you do? What service will you use for this? So there is one service. See, it is important to understand, when we talk about controlling web traffic, we are talking about firewall. What is a firewall service we have? We have AWS WAF. What will it do? It will help you with common exploits, SQL injections, and cross-site scripting. So these are the things it will help you with. This will also help you with controlling and filtering the inbound traffic because it is a firewall. If you think I am speaking too fast, you can play this video in like 0.5x. That will help you slow down the pace and understand carefully. Typically, people from African countries or Arabian countries who do not understand my accent, I would recommend that. See, guard duty is for threat detection, automatic threat detection. It's just like a security guard looking at you. It will tell, okay, if I spot someone like Donald Trump, I will not allow him to enter the campus. Something of that sort. Macy, what is Macy? Macy is a AI based solution. What it does? PII, personal identifiable information. If I have a lot of documents stored on S3 buckets, and I want to know which of those documents have PII information, for example, credit card information, social security numbers, Aadhaar numbers, passport numbers, so on, where a financial fraud can happen or someone can mimic your identity, then Macy will be used for that purpose. It is used for sensitive data. Right now in this question, nobody is talking about sensitive data. That's why this is wrong. And then we talk about shield. Shield is only for DDoS. If in the question you don't see DDoS protection, do not choose shield. Okay, so that's why this is wrong. So we got our final answer. WAF is our final answer. Let us jump to the next question. Okay, in this question, they're talking about, creating a custom cost and usage limits. For example, you set a budget for your country or for your home. You are setting a budget for your home, and you say that, okay, I'll run my expenses within $4,000, and you should not overshoot. If it is overshooting, you need to know what are the usage limits and etc. And you need an alert when the thresholds are crossed. For example, utility bills. You are setting up, for example, $200, and that threshold gets crossed. You should come to know with an intimation. Like for this country, India, she is our honorable finance minister. She and her team sets up this budget with consultation with so many other people and so on. So that budget, if it is getting exceeded, an alert should be created, a normal protocol that we follow. So here in this case, we will use this service called, this will help you with the planning and cost control process, and this is flexible budgeting and forecasting. So this would be our final answer. Now, trusted advisor, they are just like your chartered accountants. They will give you advice about security, just like your father, mother, and they will give you advice whether you take it or not. It's up to you. Then we talk about organizations. This is used to manage multiple accounts in an organization. You have a finance department, you have HR department, and so on, and you have different accounts. You want to manage that, use organizations. And then we have cost explorer. Why it is used for? It is used to visualize, understand, and manage the AWS cost and usage over time. So let us look at this next question. Which AWS service can a company use to achieve loosely coupled architecture? So what is the difference between loosely coupled and tightly coupled? Loosely coupled means if one component fails, the other will not fail. Tightly coupled means if one component fails, everything will fail. So if, for example, in a family, if there are if there is only one member who's earning and something happens, that's a tightly coupled. If you have multiple earning members, something happens to the one member, still the family will not come to the streets. They can still manage and survive on someone else's salary. Okay. So when I was young, I saw multiple families just because of the father expired, they become very poor. So this happened to some of the people I saw where I knew some people, and that is the only reason why somebody in up 20 years later is probably healthy and rich, and the other people are not. So in this regard, first let us look at step function. So you can create workflows for distributed applications. Workflows means first this will run, then this component will run, then that component will run, and you can set up that component so that you can create a loosely coupled architecture, so that if one component fails, the entire process should not fail. You can set that up. So this would be one of the answers. The second would be SQS. Why SQS? Because SQS helps you with asynchronous communication. If suppose you have this A and this is B, okay, A is sending a lot of information to B. This is happening now. Synchronous means A will throw the ball and B will catch it immediately at the same time. Asynchronous means A will throw 100 balls and A will go ahead and do some other job, and B will asynchronously means even if A is gone, B will keep catching the balls. So that is how these messages are done. So that means it is loosely coupled. A need not be there for B to catch the ball. A has thrown the ball, he has done his job, B will do his job later. So SQS is another example which will help you with loosely coupled solution. So these are my two answers. Why I have not chosen workspace? Because workspace, you want to create virtual desktops. This is a very different use. Remotely, you want to create a virtual desktop, then you use it. For example, you just have dead terminals. That means just the screen, and you want to have a network connection, and you want to connect to this AWS for this remote desktops. Then you can use workspace. AWS Connect. If you want to set up your own call center applications, then you do it. Otherwise, don't use it. The question is not talking about call center. And then trusted advisor, just like your parents, it will give you advice whether you want to follow it or you, up to you. What kind of advice about security, advice about performance, cost, and so on. So these will be our two answers. Now let us look at this next question. See, simple thing, you want to launch a mobile app and you want to do it without the asking people to upgrade their mobile devices. See, if you launch an application and then you say people, if you want to use it, you will have to upgrade your mobile devices. Nobody will use your application. Okay. So if you want, if we are saying, boss, it will work with anything and everything, whatever you have currently, then which pillar of AWS well architected framework is this? So this is reliability pillar because it focuses on designing systems that can recover from failures, remain operational, and provide seamless user experience. It will not tell you, boss, since you are on an older version, I will not work. Since you are on this version, I will not work. I will only work on this version. No. So not like Bollywood people, if they get very good role and a key actor's role, then only they will work. Otherwise, they will not work. See, this upgrading the mobile devices has nothing to do with security. Neither it is to do with cost optimization and sustainability. If you are still working with the same device, it will not be secured. It is not that way. Cost optimization is like, see, if we are telling you to upgrade or not telling you to upgrade, it will not help you with any sort of cost optimization. It is not that just for cost we are telling you not to upgrade. Okay, so that's why reliability is the final answer. Let us look at this next question. See, you need to acquire resources when you need it. If you don't need resource, you will give it away. If you need resource, when you're hungry, you want food. When you're not hungry, you will not want food. See, for me, this is scalability. Now, somebody can say elasticity also, but in the AWS world, I think scalability is the right term to be used, because when you need resources, you get it. Resources can be, you already have two EC2 instances. Now you add two more EC2 instances as a part of auto scaling. That means whenever new resources are required, auto scaling will make sure that a new resource gets added. So this would be the final answer. Now let us look at this question. A company, say they want, for the entire company, you have finance department, IT department, and so many other departments. For the entire department, you want AWS account. Simple thing. The first thing it comes to my mind is AWS organization, because it will centrally manage your environment as you scale your AWS resources. So you can keep adding your accounts. What kind of accounts? You can have multiple departments. Within the department, you may have multiple teams. You can still keep adding it and manage and optimize your cost of managing the AWS accounts and resources. You see this? This box is important. And hence organizations would be my answer. See, if you look at resource access manager, what does resource access manager do? If you want to share your resources, no, with multiple accounts, for example, you are a finance department guy and you have some EC2 instances, some application EC2 instances, database, you want to share it with the IT team, you want to share it with, suppose, the marketing team, then you can do it using resource access manager. So it is a sharing solution. Here nobody is talking about sharing solution, they're talking about aggregating and managing the accounts. This solution you want. That's why resource manager access manager will not work. IAM, it is a security and access solution. You want to give somebody access to your application, then you use it. Billing and cost management is about understanding how much it is costing, what are my current costs, and so on. This question is not asking about cost, boss. That is why only option B is correct. Now let us look at this question. Which abilities are benefits of AWS Cloud? Trade variable expense for capital expenses? No, boss. Okay. See, variable expense means for capital expense. Capital means you're buying a car, you are paying upfront now and buying a car. Variable expenses, or we don't use the word variable expense. We use the word OPEX, CAPEX and OPEX. CAPEX is capital expense, OPEX is operational expense. Operational expense, whatever we will use, we will pay. Whenever we will rent a car from Hertz, we will pay for that. So that is what. Now B option, I'll come to B later. Let's look at C. Plan capacity in advance for deployment. See, we in the cloud world, we do not plan any capacity, because capacity is unlimited. We are in a universe where capacity is unlimited. You know the universe, what happens? You cannot count. You think that I'm able to count the number of stars. There are so many stars. Uh, there may be so many different galaxies, planets, and etc. You don't know. It is infinite. Infinite. Cloud is infinite, man. You don't have to plan certain things. Will you go to space and say, hey, let me block this many square feet of space? No, boss. You take as much you want. Now, what is that place where you will not get as much space or as much reality as possible? Real estate, you will not get. Bombay. This is Bombay. You will never get, man. That's why some people there, they have to stay here who are poor, they don't have money, they are laborers, they stay in such places, such slums. To some extent, Bombay people staying in Bombay, they feel proud about such areas like Dharavi, etc. They sometimes feel proud. I don't know. It's a shame, man. And some people have to travel this way. A lot of crowded local trains and etc. So it is very unfortunate if people have to stay this way. But the state or the city, the people should plan the influx of population. You need to create some sort of visa systems, etc. You cannot allow free for all kind of thing in such cities. So coming back to capacity now, E says it reduce dependencies on network connectivity. See, cloud, you will never remove dependencies on network. You always need network connectivity. In fact, you need more, because you are on your on-premises data centers and you are connecting to cloud, and you will be doing this through the network connection. So you are totally dependent upon that. So what are your two answers? You are able to deploy globally in minutes. For example, today I'm sitting in India and I want to deploy my resources, for example, EC2 instances, RDS databases, Redshift databases. I want to deploy it in USA. Can I do it? Yes, I can do it right at my fingertips. I can do it. That's the advantage of AWS Cloud. Even Azure Cloud, Google Cloud, all cloud has this advantage. Second, we can take advantage of economies of scale. What does that mean? Economies of scale means, like, if I have 10 resources, I'm paying some cost. Like per EC2 instance, if I am paying say $20 in a month, okay, for 10 EC2 instances. For imagine if my business scales up, I become very rich, my business scales up and etc., and my uh, business becomes something like Amazon.com, and I'm getting I'm hosting like thousands and 10,000s of EC2 instances. So I get the economy of scale. Now for 10,000 instances, I'll not have to pay at the rate of $20. I may have to pay it at the rate of $10 or $12, because that is economies of scale. You buy more, you will get more discounts. So this would be our final answer. Example, Alfonso, mangoes. Take the example of mangoes. If you buy 1 kg, you will not get much discount. But if you buy 10 kgs, he will give you a lot of discount, the shopkeeper. Okay, so these two are our answers. Now let us look at this next question here. See, this question is simple. You want to choose a EC2 model, most cost effective model, and you are okay to experience downtime. Boss, if you're okay to experience downtime, go for spot instances. These spot instances, you bid the cheapest. If you get it, you keep it. The moment somebody else bids higher, they will get to retain your EC2 instances. So that means for that duration of time, you will lose your application and etc. You will again get the EC2 instance. You will again have to build your applications. Man, similar to the dating world, if your partner gets someone better than you, they will go away. Simple. If you don't want that to happen, you need to go with a reserve instance. Reserve instance, just like your marriage, you stay there for 3 years period, put a lock-in time, 3 years period agreement, and you cannot move out without paying a penalty. So this is my final answer. See here what we are saying. Uh, why reserve instances is not cost effective? Because you have to give a commitment of 3 years or 1 year at least. On demand instances, why on demand is very expensive here? It is not cost effective. Okay, since you are saying I have this tolerance level to experience downtime, so go with that. And dedicated instances are the most expensive. Let us look at this question now. Suppose I'm going to buy home in New York, okay, and I decide, okay, I want a 3 bedroom apartment. I'm looking for these and these facilities, etc. Now first thing, what will I do? I will do a price calculation, right? How much it is going, how much 2 bedroom will cost, how much 3 bedroom will cost, how much 3 bedroom with a garden will cost, how much a penthouse will cost, and so on. That means I will have to calculate the price. I will go to this great estimate in price calculator and give all my requirements to buy the apartment. Hence, price calculator is the first thing you will need in the cloud environment to understand what is going to cost. See, you are not yet in the apartment. So that is why the other options will not work. Budgets. See, budgets, when you are there and you know that, okay, my maintenance cost for this much, it will cost this much. My gardening cost, if I get a guy to garden it once a week, it will cost me this much. If I get a guy to clean the glasses from outside, it will cost me this much. So that is your budget. Okay, you have not got in, you are just decided to buy an apartment and you are doing a price calculation. Simple. Trusted advisor is like, it is like, once you get into the apartment, once you are inside cloud, you're decided and you get into the cloud environment, they will say, hey, you know what, you are somehow using more electricity. If you use some of the solar panel activated bulbs and etc., you will be able to save your electricity costs. So that is something which trusted advisor does. Trusted advisor will help you only if you are already inside cloud. If you are not inside cloud, no use of using this. And marketplace is like, if you want to buy some services, for example, what i, I know I want to buy an apartment, okay, but before buying that apartment, I start going and say, okay, I want to buy this bathtub, I want to buy these kind of taps, and I want to put these kind of jacuzzi in my master bathroom and etc. First buy an apartment, I want to calculate the price. So I hope I explained the concept. So price calculator is the final answer here. So let us jump into this next question. See, you have an application, you are expecting a short-term spike. Sometimes the spike means there would be sometime a lot of people accessing it, sometimes there will be less people accessing, but my friend, you do not have the tolerance to accept any interruptions. So that means spot instances cannot work here, because you are saying I do not want interruption. Okay, in that case you are just left with on demand instances, because on demand you have more requirement, you take more, you have less requirement, you take less. So on demand is your answer. Reserve instances, you will have to lock. If you want to lock it for 3 years or 1 year, that will not minimize your cost and that will not maximize flexibility. You want flexibility. That means you do not want to commit in a relationship. You want to be in an open relationship. That means you can just go for live-in. Do not marry someone. Same, the problem is with dedicated hosts also. You will have to make a commitment here. Even the underlying hardware itself is dedicated to for your purpose. Nobody else can have their instances spawned on their hardware. So it is like super commitment, man, and it will be very expensive. So on-demand instances works here perfectly well. So guys, this brings us to the end of this part. You can subscribe.
very informative channel. Okay, the only channel I would say which goes to this level of depth to explain the concepts. Why? Because we are totally experienced on these technology platforms. I personally have been doing it for the last 5 years. Do we know it all? Probably not. We are still learning because there are new services coming in and so on. But as and when we are implementing, we can straight away say that we are more experienced in the market. So you can click the link. You can click the link. You can click the link in the description. Become a member for the paid contents. The free content plus the paid content will help you clear the certifications. Why certain contents are paid? Because it will help us, this channel also, to monetize something so that we can keep the show running. We cannot keep the show running based only on donations which are very small. Only one or two people make those donations. So I hope you understand it, why we make certain set of contents paid. Okay, so this brings us to the end of part 98. Stay tuned, stay focused. This is the YouTube handle. You can look for so many playlists, 700 plus videos, 3000 plus questions. Embark the cloud journey, man.